Welcome back. Well, 13 News Now is your back to school station. And as students head back to class, divisions are struggling with a shortage of custodians, food service employees, and bus drivers. But administrators tell us they also don't think it'll have much an impact on students day to day in the classroom. They say they work to combat the effects of smaller applicant pools and a competitive market space.
Even before the pandemic, there were staffing challenges, both instructional and support staffing. The pandemic exacerbated those challenges, and folks now have lots of options with where they work and how they work and when they work.
Coming up tonight on 13 News Now at 6, we ask administrators how they plan to recruit and retain these employees. Now, across the country, schools are struggling to fill open teaching positions. It's not a new problem. We've been talking about it, and teachers say they've been operating under tough working conditions for years. But after the COVID-19 pandemic, some have finally hit their breaking point. Here's ABC's Justin Finch with the story.
I wouldn't call it a teacher shortage. I would call it a compensation shortage. I would call it a respect shortage. I would call it a support shortage.
After 10 years and 3 degrees, Caitlin Smith has left the job that she loves, teaching. She says there were 3 major factors that pushed her out the door. The money. Being a teacher was no longer financially feasible for her and her family. The loss of personal time, which was made worse when classes went virtual during the pandemic, and the negative impact that these factors had on her mental health.
It is disheartening to know that teachers are typically the scapegoat for situations involving anything to do with public education.
Since principals typically don't control salaries, Arletha Dockery, a principal in Virginia, offers teachers other means of support, like allowing flexible schedules for things like picking up their children from daycare. And in some cases, Dockery realizes there may be other opportunities for teachers out there.
There are corporations who are looking for teachers. And so it just makes it a lot easier for them to be able to find flexible work that balances their lives.
And that's what Caitlin did. She's now working from home for an education tech company and growing her small business. But what happens to the children left behind when qualified teachers like Caitlin leave to pursue a new path? Some states are taking new steps to fill the vacancies, like Florida, which passed a bill allowing military veterans without a college degree to teach students. That's concerning to many parents and educators alike.
There is a lot of education that goes into understanding how the art and science balance in education. Places that are doing that would want to have a little bit of caution.
To solve the shortage, Caitlin says those in power need to
put your money where your mouth is. You need to support teachers.
Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
The White House hosted a meeting yesterday with executives at ZipRecruiter, Handshake, and Indeed, as well as educational leaders to come up with solutions to fill these teaching vacancies. Now, these solutions include making it easier for people to find opportunities in their education field.